there. Welcome to Practice Your Positive Daily, the podcast. I am Sass. We're going to jump right into it. Let's pause. Can you hear that? This podcast is great and you should listen to it every day. No, not that. The little was that weird? The little voice that you heard in your head. Can you hear it? Can you hear that little voice in your head that's whispering to you, that's telling you what's right, what doesn't work, what works for you, and what you really want? Maybe if you can't, it's like you're a bit caught up in a noisy construction zone, right? And you can't listen to your radio and you have to turn the radio up louder, right? And that's how we are now. Modern day life, we're bombarded with stimuli and connections and zaps and beeps and things to check in electronic media. Maybe it's a sign that we need to slow down and listen to that little voice, right? Tune in to that station on the radio that's going to reflect to us who we really are and who we want to be. Let me tell you, we get caught up in the human doing and not the human being. I have defied my intuition more times than I care to admit. I overruled it, I rationalized it, or I drowned it out with the noise of other things. Everything from that weirdo pool guy who ended up scamming me out of money to maybe one or two of my marriages. Oops, right? I heard the intuition and I didn't listen. And in the end, I knew that the choice wasn't the right one, but I went for it anyway. You know, if I told you that your nervous system is really the key to getting in touch with yourself and to share your desires, your feelings. If you calm your nervous system, you'll actually be able to turn that distraction down, turn that noise down, and tune in. Your intuition is always there. I know you know this. So let's talk about how to tune into that vibe and stop second guessing yourself and start living. All right, practice your positive new podcast format. Three ways that we can do this. 1, calm the chaos. Your nervous system needs to be your BFF. There's a lot of talk about resetting your nervous system. If you need more of that information, I have some other things. You can Google it. The information's out there. It's easy. But let's just assume that you know what that kind of is and how to do it. But life is a mess sometimes, okay? No matter what's going on the outside world, the chaotic work, the kids are acting bad, you're juggling 17 things. The more that you do, the more that you have that rush and that chaos, the harder it is to hear your intuition. It's like listening to that radio when you're in a construction zone, when there's lots of traffic. If you want to connect with the soft voice of your intuition, you've got to take a pause and calm your nervous system. Slip into a slower pace in your mind, slip out of survival and into creativity. This practice your positive things, like it can be yoga or a meditation or a walk without your earbuds and the music and the distractions. Anything that slows you down, slow down to calm down. When you slow down, that little inner voice that says, listen to this podcast and other things, that little voice rises above the noise. So you have to calm the chaos, regulate your nervous system. Number 2, point 2, vulnerability is your superpower. Vulnerability, it's so hard. I get it. It is terrifying. It is terrifying to be emotionally vulnerable. Yes, it is, right? Like, and I get it. Some people, for years, I was a kind of person where I had a boss that said, like, oh, you're like a strong little soldier, right? I never wanted to admit anything was wrong or that I couldn't handle it. I felt like too many people depended on me to be strong. I couldn't afford to have a breakdown. I couldn't afford to step out of line and share feelings that didn't match the situation. But But when I got real with my feelings and I said them out loud to another human being or to God or to my journal, to all the places, frankly, that I've said my vulnerable feelings, when you do that, you make space for your intuition. When I could get real with the things that are scaring me, with the places that I feel out of control, then I was able to address it. I was able to show up as that person. When you're able to be open and honest with your deepest feelings with somebody else, it shows you that you can trust the words that are coming out of your mouth, right? You know what your truth is, and it allows your intuition sometimes to speak through you to other people. And so getting real, again, whether it's a person, a friend, a spouse, a priest, a support group, your journal, a bestie, a stranger on the internet, just get real. When you get real with other people, you will get real with yourself too. You're going to tune into that clear channel. All right, number 3, ignoring your intuition is like playing hopscotch with your destiny. Okay. Have you ever had that feeling that you shouldn't do something and you do it anyway, thinking like, oh, it's probably fine, I'll just ignore it? Or that thing you've always really wanted to do and you're like, oh, that's fine, I'll never be able to make any money or do that thing, so I won't even try. Yeah, well, you know what? It comes back. There's no getting out of it, right? That's like playing hopscotch. You're skipping from one mistake to another, right? We shouldn't have got married. Let's have a baby. Let's move away. Let's never pursue our dreams. Whatever those things are that you know in your gut perhaps are not for you, not listening to your intuition is going to take a lot longer circuitous route to get where you want to go. And listen, it is about the journey. But if you could sidestep a few years of pain and take that pain or that distraction or that negativity and channel it into your positivity, why would you not do that? Channel it into something that you choose. When you choose to listen to your intuition, you are going to be on the fast track, that super highway to get what you want. If you've always wanted to do it, you know what? You're always going to want to do it. If you've never wanted to do it, hey, guess what? Maybe it was never the right thing for you. The more you listen, the easier it gets, and the more you can tune into that little voice. All right, your intuition is talking and it is there. It is not some mystical thing. Your intuition is a very real part of your subconscious that wants to connect with you, that is there if you can just settle down enough to give it some space. All right. Positive of the day. Write down one area of your life that you know your intuition has been speaking to you, but you've been ignoring, right? So if it's that relationship you need to get real about, the work situation, a dream, a hope, whatever it is, take a moment to write down what it is that you've been ignoring, right? Ask yourself, what would happen if I actually follow the voice? What's one small action that you can take? We're always doing small actions here, right? Slow and steady progress. Don't quit your job and move to New York to be on Broadway. I mean, maybe, but probably not. But hey, maybe take a dance class, right? Something, okay? So write something down that you know you've been ignoring and then line up one small action that's taking you in a step toward that direction. Even if it's just writing down that you're going to have that conversation with that person next week, okay? All right, team, your intuition is not some mystical far off thing, although it might be. It might sound like that some days. It's not. Really what it is that small voice inside of you that's been there the whole time, whispering, nudging, trying to get your attention and raising the stakes until it does. The more you practice your positive, the easier it gets to hear it. So let's stop ignoring and start listening. When you follow that voice and get to the next lily pad, your voice will be there too to tell you how to get to the next one and the next one. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to start, and tuning into your intuition is a great way to get that started. All right, everybody, practice your positive and let your intuition lead the way. That is it for today, but I am going to stay for one more second and do another plug. I spent some of my 2 weeks off from the podcast doing some writing, which is something I've always wanted to do and I've never done. I've been listening to my intuition and doing more of those things. So over the holiday, I wrote some articles. I wrote 2 articles and a couple of blogs in there. So the blogs are more like personal stories with a takeaway, and then the articles are more general information. including, I think it's very fun, a woo-woo dictionary. Respectfully, it is for those people who are maybe dipping their toe into this spiritually seeking hippy dippy community and want to know what's up. So go over to Medium. All my blogs are on Medium at Sass Schaeffer. There are blogs and articles from the Practice Your Positive world. All right, that is truly it. Hey, standing for this one too. If you made it this far, let me know if you like the energy from me standing or maybe it's too much. I don't know. Either way, I will see you again soon. Bye.